he falls for nothing.
Let's switch. Baxter. I can say campaign it's straightforward. I know the campaign, but I'm not sure about the campaign this side. So the campaign is Baxter in or keep Baxter. This side, what's the story? Because I know there's petitions everywhere.
On Facebook, on WhatsApp, on YouTube.
What's the story with Baxter? Do you want? I know we spoke about this before, ne? With all these petitions and all these things going on.
Should we cut that?
with all the now we know the stats, ne? I think, let's say, some factions of Kaizer Chiefs fans were excited at the announcement that Baxter was coming back because of the.
Even Thulani was excited.
Yeah. Yes, because this is what he did, ne? And he's now here, and maybe it's not so rosy.
You know the saying, let your ex be. You know the saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes your ex comes back just to show you how stupid you are. That's true. The minute you allow your ex to come back in your life, it's to show your stupidity.
Irvin, I have a question, right? Yeah. And this is like a genuine question, right? And it's gonna sound spicy. Kaizer Chiefs fan called for hunt. Remember, the hunt is over.
Yeah.
And it was concluded that football
He's gonna compete with Quito.
No, this is running away from.
Yeah, he's gonna run
right?
away. Yeah.
So it was the hunt is over, and then it was like, no, football has left hand because I don't listen to video analysis.
He doesn't.
Right?
No, he doesn't.
And then there was bring back.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. And then there was a bring back Baxter, right?
Okay.
He's back, and it's also now being concluded that football has left Baxter. Ne?
Wow.
Can we say? And this
But
is
can
my
you
question.
argue that point?
No. My
Baxter's-
point is not to argue here. I want to pose a question.
Okay.
Can we say football has left Kaizer Chiefs fans because they keep asking for people who football has left behind? It's my question.
Answer my shoe.
Why won't you let me answer?
Okay, answer it.
But who called for Hunt and who called for Baxter? Was it us or was it management? Here's the problem. This is what we're talking about. I've seen a structure. You understand? The minute I heard which Hunt is coming to coach Kaizer Chiefs, the first thing I said, no Hunt, no Bobby, will never get along. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the problem at Kaizer Chiefs, it's not the fans that are calling for the coaches' heads. It's the management that keeps getting the wrong. Obviously, you guys
we had a space, those two were there. I said to them, if you look at Baxter when he left, Baxter does not trust youngsters.
There we go.
But Baxter does not believe in the untried.
He's got a starting 11.
So he's got, and they said to me, they said, no, he's going to, and I said, if you look at,
the day they said that, are they sitting here?
He was there.
Okay,
So you exclude.
I remember.
I still remember, and Utando, I said it was his space. I said, Tando, if you know Baxter, you know that the youngsters that were starting to come up under Gavin Hunt and Umangete that took you to the finals of the champions, they're not going to be playing. And everybody said, no.
Let me have some honor for once.
Okay, yeah.
I was happy for the Baxter is coming back. One, because when he won us the last trophy.
Makes sense.
Two, because it was said when he left that the management didn't want to buy him the players he wanted. So my mind was like, okay, maybe this time there's an agreement between him and the management, which we're going to buy the players you want. But now, mixed emotions. Before he came in, I got this other journalist telling me that Baxter doesn't want the older players to be released. He wants to assess them himself. So I was confused. Will he buy players? Will he assess the older players? So I was happy, and at the same time I was worried. So now, I'm like, no, there's no football here. With Fluke wins, we cannot dominate. We didn't dominate yesterday, we won the game. We can't dominate a match of
the
football.
first half, you guys were pretty,
I had no idea. I didn't even bother to watch that match.
Yesterday, you guys were pretty much...
No, but
playing
and,
in
and
control of the game.
remember Chiefs had the chance to sign Tlholo.
I remember that.
Baxter said no.
And then Baxter said
The
no.
checkbook doesn't
And for
show-
free.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, let's look at this. Has Baxter improved Chiefs or not?
No.
No, but look where you were last season compared to where you are now.
Yes.
The season has
Yes, you didn't show up for 2
The
games,
season
but
hasn't
It's
ended.
not. It's actually not bad.
No, the season hasn't ended. Anything can happen,
no,
right?
no. As much as but last year this time. You were asking for Gavin to go because it was so bad. You were.
We are
you
asking
were
for him
fighting
to
You
go
guys are
now.
forgetting one thing.
Gavin's
We couldn't buy
Chiefs was
players.
worse than
But
Baxter's Chiefs.
obviously it's going to be worse. We couldn't buy players. We couldn't buy players.
Exactly.
Right
But
now,
so-
we
so
actually
Baxter
bought
has-
players.
so Baxter has
and what is
improved, you
Baxter
guys.
doing?
No.
he's not improving now.
No, number 2.
But
Kanti,
what has he improved?
Usenior
Your-
coach
your
wakuthenga
league position.
ama-stats kanti.
They're like
Oh, stats don't matter to Chiefs
Yo.
people.
but your stats are like bikinis.
But
They
here's the
don't
thing.
They don't reveal everything.
But
You won't see how we played yesterday,
they don't
but we
reveal
won.
everything. Eh? But from a management perspective, I think hiring Baxter again, for me, made sense because you talk about a guy who last won you a
No,
car.
they wanted
You
a
talk
quick
about a
fix.
guy who
Yeah.
had
They
the
wanted a
same-
quick fix.
You are right.
There's a problem.
Yes.
You
You guys
can't.
need a quick
fix.
you,
Yeah, it
you don't need a quick fix. I need to say where we are. We're at the bottom of the barrel. What do you do when you're right at the
I
bottom?
don't
Are
think
you not
Kaiser
the better?
Chiefs is at the bottom of the barrel.
They are.
I don't think so
don't
too.
think so.
No, guys.
Wait, Kaiser
Kaiser
Chiefs
Chiefs
is
Chiefs
number
is that-
one.
I don't
Okay,
think
is
it's
at
that
the bottom of the
No.
barrel.
Don't
Don't
I
be
think what
fooled.
you guys are
Don't
forgetting
be
is
fooled
that
by the position.
Kaiser Chiefs
No,
was
it
very
does not
close to
matter. I'm
relegation
gonna throw.
last
You
season.
still have
For
2
like
games
7
that you
years.
have
Kaiser Chiefs was very close to
No,
relegation.
stop lying to them,
No, no,
Tlholo.
no,
Those games
no.
are not
They were
gonna.
close to relegation last
But
season.
No, Mara.
exactly, and
No.
look where you are.
No,
at
but it's not because
now.
of
It's an
Baxter.
improvement.
Yeah.
But it's not because
No,
of Baxter.
like-
Guys,
Evan,
the fact
Kaiser
is,
Chiefs are
Kaiser
not at
Chiefs
the
has
bottom of the
improved
barrel.
this season
They are
from
the
where it
barrel.
was last season.
They are not at the bottom of the barrel. They are the barrel.
Honestly,
But
Chiefs-
Khumo,
Yes, I
if Kaiser Chiefs were so worse last season and now they're in position 2, they're there.
It has-
Surely it's an improvement.
No, but it's not an improvement done by Stu.
a season before last
Let's
season,
not
they were.
get it twisted. Let's not now come here and act like Stewie is doing something. Stewie is just Ubabagali. That's all he is. Ubabagali, ufika lapha, uba Ubabagali, yathethisa.
but-
Please.
Again, if we were using
Fine.
that argument, who and Smith and Ogube wouldn't have left because he was number 2.
Uhambele, no ends.
We argued this
Uhambele.
before. We argued this before. As Middendorp, for me, it wasn't justified that he got fired. He almost won
Because
them
you
the
hate
league.
Kaiser Chiefs.
No, wait,
But
he
you
almost
almost
won.
doesn't count.
Oh, come on.
Until there was
Listen, but
Khumo, this guy laughed almost because he said Bafana almost qualified. So he laughed almost.
Almost doesn't count.
Almost doesn't count.
let's look at it this way. Almost doesn't count. Yes, ne? Liverpool, almost. Ne? Where are they now? They are winning. They won the Champions League. They won the league. Ne? Moving away from Europe, coming back. Yes, it's an almost. It's a heartbreaker. We know that. But still, where was Chiefs before Middleton? Nowhere. We couldn't even talk about almost.
What do you mean we know it?
Were you challenging for the league?
Have we been challenged? No, but
No.
I get it. I've
Mara,
been
you see
saying-
why I said Chiefs are not at the bottom of the barrel. They are the barrel.
Yes,
That's
because
right.
with
if you look-
Middendorf, you guys even believed you're gonna win the league. You've never had that.
No, before COVID, you were saying no, Henderson over the
No,
league.
Khumo, let's be
Yes.
realistic. When you guys were 13
Here's
points
the nice
ahead,
thing about,
there was
about
actual
the
belief that
timeline,
Chiefs
and the
would
nice
win.
thing about Facebook, it will remind you of such moments. Understand? No, I've always, I'm like Kaiser Chiefs, guys. Kaiser Chiefs.
When
Kaiser
you've been
Chiefs.
sober.
I've been sober for so many years. You understand? Because this is a team that my father supports and the whole house supports. At some point now, was a cross between Pirates and Kaiser Chiefs.
So by virtue,
No,
if
no,
you
no,
want
no,
to
no,
keep
not
your
by
blood in
virtue.
this family, you must support them.
No. Please don't forget the fact. I was married and I was married to a Sundown supporter. So it's not that case, you know. So now I know my love for Chiefs is not going anywhere.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere. But I am very sober to say, player team there, I know structure. I know philosophy. They don't know where they're heading
the top.
anymore. From the top. From the
That's
top.
where
It's as
it
simple
is.
as that.
No,
this team
but guys-
is now looking at Bona, quick back. We get the sponsorship for
No,
ourselves.
Tlholo, I'll
That's the
argue-
thing.
I'll
Don't
argue
you
with
need a quick fix, Konamanje? Because
No, Ivan, no, they don't need a. Chiefs are in a rebuilding process.
Oh,
When they
with
hire,
Baxter.
no,
but to be
the
rebuilding with
problem is
Matoho and Cardoso.
everybody has looked at the senior
Hey,
team. If you look
that's
at them
really
getting
beating no matter how
the
they fight
development
us.
right,
Ah, but they
The
hate us.
MDC team now is-
They hate
so
us.
they're starting to build a team which If they don't, because what you need is just a senior coach who's now going to believe in what you're bringing up. If you're looking at what they were doing, if you're looking in terms of hiring Zeki and being able to say, you heading our development side, and you look at their MDC team and the DDC team, they're starting to build. But the problem is that you need a coach who's now going to believe in those youngsters and be able to say,
And a
this
Baxter
is
is
what
not
we
that
want.
coach.
And that's the only missing link that
perhaps,
Chiefs can
And
do.
Baxter
No,
is
you are
or
right
perhaps
there.
the management needs to make appointments to show that they are in the rebuilding phases, because language also is important. If you can have a Kaiser Junior who comes out and say, listen, we are rebuilding. If we get
That
a
one is
trophy here and
a
there.
smooth talker,
Did he
that
say
one.
that?
No, I'm not saying he said that. I'm
He
saying
did.
that's
He
the.
did though.
He didn't say we're rebuilding.
He said
But that's what I'm
they're
saying.
trying to reduce the
and
No,
how
he
is
didn't,
that
he didn't say that.
He
That's
didn't
what I'm
say we are
saying. Maybe the
rebuilding.
language the management needs to come from is that we are in the rebuilding phase, and maybe if we get a cup here and there, it will be a bonus. But expect us to have in 3 years, in 4 years time,
Bona, as a
so that the
Kaizer Chiefs
fans
supporter,
know
as
what
a
to
Kaizer
expect.
Chiefs supporter, ne? I would love that. I wouldn't have a problem with that. You understand? But don't tell me that you're rebuilding and you're still keeping Kados and Mato. Why? What
The
are you
wall of
doing?
Jericho.
What are you doing with the wall of Jericho? And I'm trying
And
to
then you
understand,
still have
when
Park.
will the trumpets finally come and blow down that wall of Jericho?
And
But
even-
you-
For
Still
me,
have Parker,
and
Parker,
this is
still
what I'm
have,
saying. This is free advice to Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
For them, they must go to Egypt, hope that Zamalek doesn't do well, because Calderon is going to be the next best coach that they can be able to get, because he believes in youngsters. If you look at a coach like that and you look at your business model where you're saying youngsters are going to be coming through the system, that's a coach that you go to and say, you believe in youngsters, come and coach our team, because we've got so many youngsters that are coming through that, so that we can be able to then get forward. Or else you're going to be looking like my house tool where you are waiting for food and there's no trophy that's coming. And that's the problem.
I think I did.
They, like, can they afford that coach?
Man, bruh, how far is the food?
Still far.
Mara, who said we can afford-
Cut.
Okay,
We're not waiting for food.
it's in. It's going out, it's in. The girl wanna eat.
Honestly, I feel like
People who are used to certain life.
the simplest philosophy in life is that you must feed a woman. Like
The woman getting grumpy feeder.
feed a woman, you've got everything sorted. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So moving on. I think Rika. Oh wait. So Baxter out.
We must go.
Absolutely.
No.
Alone.
He dropped in the name. He
alone.
dropped in the name.
Leave the technical team.
No,
leave,
I like the
Shepherd
name he dropped.
And leave Zwana. And
No,
Zwana.
he
But
says-
And then Junior.
i-team yakababa-ke
Akafakanga i-CV.
simenze nakafakanga i-CV
You see,
abamkhathanga
remember
kukubo.
Tlholo, and remember when they appointed the technical director, I said, is he the right man? The position is right. And I'll tell you why. For me, and a personal opinion, if you're 45 years or younger, you shouldn't be a technical director. Because a technical director is somebody who needs to understand the development structure. It's somebody who needs to understand players' well-being. So he may understand players because he's been a player. Does the team have a playing philosophy? Does the team have a good scouting system? So all those dynamics that you need to understand, unfortunately, you're not going to get them at a very young age. Because at that point he was building as a player, he wasn't looking at the scouting side, he wasn't looking at the development side. So for me, it would have been said, keep Walter Steenbok there and let him be his understudy, so that 5 years from now you can be able to say, this is what we've got. Because once you get Nzeki in, Nzeki will bring you the development players. Look at what he did with Harmony. Harmony had the best academy in terms of what they were building. Walter has got a system where he's got a proven track record where we at Sundowns are benefiting because of what he was part of.
Mphoza, I want to agree with you and then add
Yeah,
the surname part.
Tlholo.
The surname part needs to be someone from outside, so we can have accountability in those key positions. Because now I feel like people are relaxed. They are
Especially if you have the name, there's no accountability.
come on. And if we have someone from the outside, they know they are here to deliver.
So
all.
they'll have KPIs.
Yeah, we need to have those.
But mina,
KPIs
I want
Look,
to
KPI is
disagree.
important. Number 2 is a good position to be at.
But I want,
Stay comfortable there.
Wabona, that's why I said, whoa, ngoba ngiyabazi. He leads people. But you know what, Putumtala, I want to disagree on the age. Ne, we can't now keep on saying, Guti, just because Umuntu is 45 years and younger, therefore they won't be able to do X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
I think they can get somebody who is young. But now the problem is, it can't be for namesake. Namesake cannot work. Because you're not going to need to be accountable. Absolutely not. Because it's in Nagababam.
But at 45, understand the dynamics. If you're going to learn your scouting system, it's something that you need to know and have a vested interest in. So this is the African network. If you look now, you say Sundowns are shopping for a player in South America. That means somebody has been there, knows the network. If you've got somebody who deals with development, it's somebody who then says, I have this track record in terms of developing
can
players.
I cut you there quickly? Because I remember I was speaking to someone who was telling me about a 10-year-old who was telling me about a player that is coming into a team. You understand? So you can't base it on age. You can't be based on age. It needs to be based on, Elon, are you willing
Your
to
track
do
record,
the
like you
work?
said.
No. Are you willing to do the work? So if you've got somebody who's willing to sit down, go through research, and actually do the work, age shouldn't count.
But here's what. According to my small understanding of football, your technical director is the equivalent of your CEO in any other company.
Yes, it is.
Because he needs to make sure that on a footballing side, there's players that are coming from the development. There's the players on the field. So Kaiser Junior should be able to say, Stuart, you're not delivering because you're not playing this philosophy. Scouting system, this is what we need. All those things. Then
Help me
stop
understand
there.
this. Kaiser Junior Mulifenseki. Who's who there?
So I would then, so based on titles, let's forget the names. So Nteki would be in charge of the development, answering to the technical director. So that would be where the buck stops in terms of your players coming from the development. That's my understanding. Technical director needs to have a helicopter view whereby every single department is running and making sure that everybody's done. That's my understanding of how it would be. Or that's how most footballing teams that don't have surnames attached to it are doing it.
You never miss. Let's move.